Before this video starts, I'd like to thank GG Plays for this idea. He just made a video at it. I will link his channel and his video in the description. Go check him out, and thank you GG Plays for this idea and allowing me to use it. Welcome back to another video. Today I will be ranking all 8 of the major apexes in Path of Titans. Starting out with number 1, we have Divine Beast Carcharodontosaurus. So, all of you probably know why this is the lowest ranking. It is the squishiest apex, does some of the least amount of damage. It's very versatile though. I love this thing. And mind you, I'll be ranking all of these based on combat with other apexes and slightly smaller things. Maybe smaller things. But 1, Divine Beast Cark, very smooth, very agile with its bite. It can move very quickly, it can get around things, it's got a decent turn. It's just sadly Divine Beast itself has made this thing very weak. It's going to be at the bottom of every ranking because of that, but combat wise it's not bad. And depending on what you fight. If you fight an OG Rex, your chances, if you're skilled like Apex Hunter or George, your chances are very high with Cark against OG Rex. It's slow, it's sluggish, this thing is versatile. It's very, very good. So for fighting big things like that in sauropods, that's where this goes. But against all the other Carny apexes, you're going to get stomped. So that's why I place Divine Beast Carcharodontosaurus. Alright, for number 7 spot, we have the Path of Titans T-Rex. This thing is a powerhouse to say the least. It is bulky, it is sluggish in its movement, but it's a powerhouse. It's good at what it does. Face tanking has an ability made for it. It's not my favorite thing to fight as, to be honest. I think if you're really good at this and if you kill a lot of other people with this thing, you've got a lot of skill. This thing is going to take more skill because it sucks. Fighting conks, I've died to conks, a duo conk before. 1, the tail attack it doesn't do enough. It does 5 damage, it does knockback, it's useless. Stomp, you can't time that. This thing sucks at fighting small things, like you're just going to get wrecked. However, fighting apexes though, the reason why I put it above Path of Titans Divine Beast Cark, is because this thing can contest better with other apexes than Cark can. It can at least stand its ground for the most part because it's so tanky. That's why it gives it that little edge. But like I said earlier, Cark can absolutely decimate Pot Rex if they know what they're doing, and the Pot Rex isn't as experienced. But again, on this list, everything's going to be based off of my experience with these with these mods and creatures, and just in PvP wise. But this thing, Bone Break doesn't work for it, so you can't immobilize anybody. The acceleration is very nice. It's better than PT Rex's, which gives it an edge in combat. It seems pretty quick. The stomp is very good on it. It's not good as Spinos with the AoE range. The tail attack, it's alright. I mean, it does knock back, so it's not my favorite. But yeah, I'm putting it 7 because everything else on this list can wreck it if played right, of course. But that's Pot Rex for number 7. For number 6 on the list, we have Divine Beast Giga. Now, this is going to make a lot of people mad. Again, this is my opinion, but this thing is so easily beatable, like, by the next few dinosaurs. It just really is. I don't have problems with this thing at all. Even on Apex Killers, where they have it buffed, I don't have a problem with this thing. I really don't. Pot Rex does, just because of this tight turning. Like, Pot Rex just can't compete with that. Yes, its stand in place turn radius is pretty good, but this thing just, the hitbox range is broken on it for its bite. It's just not, yeah. This thing has too many good abilities to take down big things, like a Pot Rex. Not necessarily sauropods, but Pot Rex definitely. This thing is very sluggish though. It's not the fastest thing. Its stamina isn't the best. 1, I don't like its model, but we're not talking about that, we're talking about combat. Divine Beast Cark, I don't think Cark can necessarily take this out. Again, it's all about experience and who are the players. Pot Rex could probably contend with it, but again, I'm just saying, abilities wise and combat wise, this is gonna outclass it, and just by a little bit. Not by a lot, but it can. This thing is just, it was very good when it came out, but when I say good, I mean OP. But it's not as diverse. It doesn't have the movement of a Giga, so it's a bit more tanky like a Rex, but yet can't tank like a Rex. So it's in a weird spot. It's in a weird position right now. But yeah, number 6, Divine Beast Giga. And in 5th place, we have the Path of Titan Spinosaurus. Now, the reason for this being, and me putting it against Pot Rex, is because of what it can do to all the other apexes. This thing is a pain to fight on anything. The tail knockback on this thing is ridiculous. Its stomp is outrageous. Its AoE reaches to in front of its head and near the end of its tail. It's the best stomp in the game. I hate stomp. This thing has it, and it's got the best of it. Not to mention its tail attack. You literally cannot tail ride this thing. So like, say you're fighting in front of you right here, and then he gets behind you, you tail attack, turn out, sprint, bam. And they've been pushed away. You can launch a Rex from like right here all the way to over here, or even farther, and that gives you enough space to turn and get back into the face tank. And Spinosaurus is 30% defense plus 1,000 HP. This thing is a tank. It tanks more than PT Rex does, without Deep Rumble, of course. This thing will just tank you all day, and if you do 4 stomps on a Rex, even 3 stomps, you're gonna win in a face tank. It's insanely OP like that. You can't outclass it as PT Rex right now. I have been doing it. Spino's not a problem for me anymore. But this tail knockback is the most annoying thing of any Apex, and that's what gives it an edge on everything else. It can tail smack everything and just get it off of it. And then it can go in and face tank most of the Apexes except for Pot Rex. However, you can argue that Kark beats this thing, which I would agree. A lot of Karks can, but that tail knockback just counters it, and then it just gets back into a face tank way too easily. But this is number 5, Pot Spino. Alright, and at number 4, we have Primordial Tyrant's T-Rex. I love this T-Rex. If you've watched my channel, I literally play this thing 24/7. I rarely ever get off of it. This is my favorite Apex by far. I love it. I think it's amazing. I think it's one of the best Apexes, but it's not. It is ranked number 4 in this list because of that. And 1, this thing is beautiful. It's got a charge bite, one of the best abilities in the game. Does 169.5 damage at the max, and it's the second best bite of any Apex. Its acceleration is trash. It's worse than Pot Rex's, and when I'm fighting sometimes I can't tell if I'm running or I'm sprinting. So yeah, that's a problem for me. Its tail attack is pretty good. It doesn't do knockback. It does straight damage. I like that. Its calls, I think, why am I talking about the calls? Ignore the calls. This is PvP. This thing wrecks Pot Rex. I'm sorry for all Pot Rex lovers. It wrecks it. If it's just the PT Rexes you're fighting don't know how to not face tank. It's so easy for me to fight Pot Rexes. There are a few counters, but it's just, it's near too easy. Fighting almost every Apex on this thing, you can win. Like, without a doubt, you can win. Again, it's all about the experience of the player and if they know what they're doing and the other dinosaur it's fighting. But this thing just absolutely wrecks everything it can. If you get good with it, you're going to be nearly untouchable. Again, it is a Rex, so a lot of you are going to say, yeah, it's a Rex, of course it's going to be untouchable. Yeah, I know it's, of course, going to be untouchable. It's a T-Rex. Like, this game has to have a little bit of realism in it, and if you say this game isn't realistic, then what's the point of having any decent stats? Just make everything OP, why not? Just say F it, alright? Get out of here. Nah, I'm joking. Don't stay. Anyways, this is number 4 on the list, PT Rex. Alright, for number 3 on this list, we have Primordial Tyrant's PT Giga. I love this mod. This is my second favorite mod. It's amazing. 1, it's got a bulldoze that is super good. Can launch people away. Very versatile. It creates distance. It does damage. It reduces damage that you take, and you can launch people off cliffs with it. It's super good. I love this thing. It's fast. It's got insane acceleration with the plus 50 that they added not too long ago. It's very good. Its stamina is pretty good. Could obviously be better. Its turning is near godly. It's ridiculous. It can tail ride PT Rex if you know what you're doing. Like, you can catch them on the fly so easily. And I love this thing so much. It can compete with every single Apex just as well as PT Rex can, if not better, because of how versatile it is. With 1, the bulldoze, and 2, its charge bite. Its charge bite at max does 100 damage, and it's quicker. This thing is so good and so versatile, and it wrecks PT Rex if you play it right again. They did a silent update not too long ago for like 3 or 4 days where PT Rex was tanking, or sorry, PT Giga was tanking PT Rex, and that was ridiculous. I was ashamed that day, in that little span of days. But it's alright, we're back to normal. But this thing still competes very, very well. Again, it's going to take some more skill to kill a PT Rex, but killing a Spino, Pot Rex, it's so easy. So easy with this thing. I love it. It's amazing. But yes, for number 3 on our list, that is Primordial Tyrant's Giga. And at number 2 on the list, we have Absentia Acro. This thing, oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate it. No, it's a pretty good model. It's not the most scientifically accurate, so that's not really a bother. But for PvP, this thing is nearly OP. It can face tank PT Giga, it can face tank PT Rex, nearly face tank OG Rex, can compete in a face tank with Spino, especially since its headbutt just kicks Spino away. Just immediately. Sorry, not kicks it. It stops its stomp immediately. You can't stomp with this thing, and if you do, that's a problem with you. This thing is fast. It's got pretty good acceleration. Its stamina is pretty good. It's so versatile with abilities, and they're actually planning on updating it to where it's extremely versatile with several different types of builds. Its claw attacks are pretty good. Its bite is pretty good. Its headbutt though gives you plus 40% armor, plus another 20% from abilities and metabolism. This thing can have 60% armor with max headbutt. You're not touching this thing. PT Rex cannot compete with this. It is the definition of OP in a face tank. Like, the fact that it contends with Pot Rex is ridiculous. If this thing had a little bit more damage, it would wreck it. But it's number 2 on this list because, like PT Rex, PT Giga, it can outclass everything because of its abilities and what it can do. And its 60% armor is just too much. And they actually recently buffed, it gets 40% attack now too with its headbutt. This thing is broken right now. I do not like it. But PvP wise, you can just face tank everything. So that's it. Number 2 on the list, we have Absentia Acro. And number 1 on the list, we have Path of Titans, Tyrano Titan. Now, I hate this thing so much. Now, let me explain. The model of it, I think, is pretty good. I think it looks good. I think it feels good. I love its play. I love how it is. I like that it's the best bleeder in the game, but I don't like that, I guess. I like its bleed. It's a good bleeder, but this thing is OP to the max. Now, let me start out with one thing. Its delayed bite does 176 damage with the bleed sense. It gives it plus 10%. This base bite is 160 damage, which one is already higher than PT Rex's, and then plus that 10% makes it the hardest hitting bite in the game for any Apex. It is the most obnoxious and outrageous thing I have seen to give a Conquerodontosaurus that much powerful of a bite over Pot Rex that cannot compete with it, and then over PT Rex, which had the strongest bite, especially when it's faster than PT Giga's charge up bite. It's faster than animation, and it does more damage than a Rex. It is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And it's pretty easy to time, too. It's really quick. It's not like Dasp. Its base bite does bleed damage, which is amazing. And it's super good bleed. It's sprinting. It is the fastest Carny Apex in the game. You're not catching this. Plus, it does tail knockback. Like, what? And if you're wearing Blood Soaked, you should. You should always have Blood Soaked on, to be honest, in a 1v1. You get so much stamina back. Nothing's ever going to catch you. Ever. And then not to mention, its call is a minute long. It's a minute long, 15%, and only a 3-minute timer. It's insane. It's super, super good. Now, here's where it gets to be OP. Let's look at the stats here. It has the fastest sprint of any Apex in the game. Nothing's going to catch it. It's got tail knockback, so even if you do happen to get behind it, you're not going to stay back there long. It has got the hardest hitting bite of any Apex, stronger than a T-Rex. It has got the quickest animation for the said strongest bite. It has a juke, it has a dash, and it has the best stamina recovery of any Apex in the game. This thing has it all besides a stomp. It is ridiculous. I have been bled out by Tyrannos. I have been face tanked by Tyrannos. I've been outplayed by Tyrannos because it has all of these factors into one. Yeah, I've beaten them. I've had videos of them, but the really, really good ones, I can't even touch them. I mean, they've been close, I guess. They're like 3 or 4 shot, but I've been bled out by one before. It was depressing. This thing's too good. It needs a nerf. On officials, this thing just mollywops Rex. It mollywops everything. If you're losing to a pot Rex, I'm sorry. That's just you. Again, you should not be losing. It can't even catch you. Your trot speed, I'm pretty sure, is the fastest in the game as well. Like, nothing's running you down ever. If you ever get caught by anything in like a 1v1 scenario, that's another Apex. Again, it's just you. This thing is way too OP for what it is. I think this needs a nerf now. Please. It's stupid it does that much. But yeah, that is my ranking for all of these Apexes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you guys think. And I'm probably going to make a second one to like go off of this to go more into like detail about the stats and stuff. This was just my base opinion.